framework of no fish zones, and a treaty on the use of international waters would restore the health of the ocean so it actually produces more fish for us all to eat. Working hard to keep hold of the wild populations we still have, encouraging nature wherever we can. In the ocean, on land we no longer need, and even in our cities. If we make these changes, we'll be a long way to becoming a species in balance with nature once again. We will have taken a remarkable journey from 1 million people struggling to survive to several billion living long, healthy lives on a stable planet, able to provide for all our needs. Only at that point will the Anthropocene, the age of humans, be truly underway. At that point, we will be proud to call it our planet. How do we create a future in which both people and nature can thrive? We open our eyes to this moment in history. Think on a planetary scale. Embrace the challenge we face and do something we humans are very good at. Change the world. How do we create a future in which both people and nature can thrive? This is the biggest question of our times. In the next few decades, we need to do something unprecedented, achieve a sustainable existence on Earth. But how do we do it? We can start by understanding how we got to this point. 20,000 years ago, humankind consisted of less than 1 million hunter-gatherers across the globe. We lived within the resources on offer, in balance with nature, a strategy that could theoretically last forever. But it wasn't an easy life. Nature determined our survival. We used our unique minds to challenge that reality. We learnt how to tame the wild, get more from the environment. Our population boomed, as did our demands. Every time a new problem arose, we solved it, altering Earth's entire surface in the process. And now we have changed the world so profoundly, scientists have decided that Earth has entered a new phase of its existence. Welcome to the Anthropocene, the age of humans. The tables have turned. We now determine nature's survival. The planet is ours. There's just one problem. We're now totally out of balance with nature. And unless we get our balance back, this age of humans is due to be short-lived. So how do we deal with this problem? When you boil it down, there is one underlying big issue. Our planet is becoming less wild. Our species has cleared 3 trillion trees, cultivated half its fertile land, and now fishes across most of the ocean. In the last 50 years, the populations of wild animals have reduced by 60%. We've replaced them with ourselves and our domesticated animals and plants. Today, we and the animals we raise account for 96% of the mass of mammals and 70% of the birds on Earth. There's very little wild left. This biodiversity loss is not just a tragedy, it's the single biggest problem we face. Without biodiversity, the world as we know it doesn't work. Our planet needs its wild spaces. Every one is a component in the global machine. Only if they are all healthy can the planet run smoothly. A less wild world is less able to provide for our needs, less able to maintain dependable weather and seasons, less able to absorb our impact. Biodiversity equals stability, and stability is what we need most of all. Can we turn this situation around? Can we rewild the world? Well, maybe, due to one key change. As societies develop, something is happening that has never happened before. People are having fewer children. Globally, since the year 2000, the number of people under 16 years old has hardly changed. The main reason our population is still rising is because people are living longer. If this continues, our population may finally stop growing by the turn of the century. By investing in education and women's rights and raising people.
Hello, hello, welcome. Good day, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening from wherever you're joining us from. It's nice to have you back on this section of Roundtable series. So yeah, this is the SDG Roundtable series where we pick any of the SDGs topic to discuss here on this platform. And it's always an interesting one. Yes, and I'm anticipating the interaction between all the participants and me today because I always see it as an avenue for us to discuss whatever it is that has to do with SDGs. And this is an opportunity for us to contribute one or two things on SDG goals. But today, our tip for today will be sustainable solution to poverty eradication in Africa beyond hate. Wow, that is wonderful. So welcome everyone. Thank you for joining from different angles from Africa and beyond Africa. We are glad to have you on board today. And this section is a very interesting one. I would like you to stay on board while you witness how interesting the program used to be like. So I think this is the first year doing this year. So let me officially say Happy New Year to everyone. Yes. So we do have it every month where we discuss different topics that has to do with SDG goals. And this is the first that we're doing this year. Wow, I'm so happy that we're back on track. Yes. So as we're having this today, we'll be having it every other month. So look out for our flyers, follow us on ADF Africa so that you can get updates on this program as it's a very interesting one, as just as I've said to you. So today is going to be a very, very interesting one. As please just go and go and get your biro, your books, everything, because we are going to be learning from a lot of people here. I know we have a lot of advocates, SDG advocates, we have learned people, we have impactful people in our midst today who are going to be contributing to this topic today. And today's topic, once again, is sustainable solution to poverty eradication in Africa beyond aid. Wow, that is a very, very large topic today. And the reason is, I think recently there was a news that America will be stopping paid for other countries, and I know it's going to be it will be affecting Africa in a very very large way, but we need to discuss this. So we need to discuss how to be sustainable, the sustainable solution we can provide to poverty eradication in Africa, because all these are very important. Okay, just as I've not introduced myself before now. Okay, my name is Yetunde Junaid, and I'm the program associate for ADF Africa. Yes, I know a lot of you would have seen my faces, so that's why I'm trying to draw back. Maybe I can see somebody that can easily say, "Oh, Yetunde, hi, how are you there?" But it's fine. Okay, my name is Yetunde Junaid. I'm the program associate for ADF Africa. Okay, just as I've introduced myself, I would like to know every one of you on this call right now. So please drop pause your name and where you're joining us from. Let's know you. Let's know where you're joining us from. So I'm from Nigeria, definitely. Yes, I'm proud of my country. All right, thank you, everyone. So yes, I can see. Oh, happiness from Nigeria. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can see from Uganda. Wow. Wow, this is fantastic. People are really joining us from different side of the country. Oh, this is lovely. This is lovely. Oh, this is from Zimbabwe. Wow. Nigeria. Okay. Caliphate. Wow. Oh, you're all welcome from Sierra Leone, from Ghana. This is a fantastic one, and you're all welcome today to February's Roundtable series. We are glad to have you on board. So, yes, let me try as much as possible to recognize my team members on board, and right about now we bringing Mr. Mayowa Onyoshun for the welcome address, as he'll be addressing us this day. Thank you, Mr. Mayowa. You have the floor, sir.
Yes, thank you very much, Yetunde, and good evening, everyone joining this call at this very hour. It is my delight to welcome you to the SDGs Roundtable, which is a monthly initiative of ADF Africa, where each and every one of us come together to recommend and suggest policies and critical insights, opinions, and ideas on how we can together develop Africa, which is our homeland. One thing is certain, we believe that Africa is here and no one is coming to save us. We are all expected to put our hands together for the progress of Africa. And that is what has informed the theme for discussion this afternoon. We are only not looking for solutions to addressing poverty in Africa, but beyond that, we are looking for sustainable ones, not just solutions of the moment that would, in the next 2-3 years, need us addressing the same issue once again. But we are much more interested in your ideas, your perspectives, as young Africans, as innovative Africans, as change makers, as drivers of solution within and beyond Africa, such that by the end of this program, when we are able to promote your submissions as young stakeholders within Africa, it could be a force of change. It could become something that turns to a movement that would become a solution or even a pointer to several other challenges that continues to threaten Africa. May I inform you today that even as we continue to advance in everything we are doing, the poverty-stricken states, and when I say states now, it would mean nations, we still have the highest of it within Africa, our dear fatherland. As much as we have it today, the highest population that is still being faced with abject poverty still lies within the African continent. So this is something that is supposed to bring our attention to the fact that even when we believe that Africa is thriving in several fields of life, it takes only between about 1% of the 1% to 5% that are actually moving and giving relevance to economic stability and representation in Africa. I think statistically speaking about today, when you gather every 10 African, for every 10 African, you would definitely have about 6 who live well below, the national daily income of sustainers. This is the harsh reality we have. And this poverty index that we have that ravages African land has continued to bore impacts on several other areas of our livelihood. This poverty has continued to affect us in the aspect of health, as many African children are malnourished and have no access to good nutritional values which they need for proper growth at the early stages of their life. Not only that, this same poverty has set us behind in advancement and integration of technological development. When a 13-year-old in some other part of the world is introducing some very creative and innovative solutions today, it is so worrisome sometimes that about the same age mates somewhere on the African continent is either trying to fend for life in a quarry as even an underage labor force, or they are products and victims of teenage pregnancy, or many of them are lying there in the IDP camps because of the challenges, or many of them are even on the streets trying to source for how they can make a living or start a good life for themselves. So we have all come here together on this roundtable today. I believe that we have professors on the call this very evening, people of great insights, people of high recommendation, who are well learned and well read. And I think the good thing is that we have a diverse representation of professionalism. I want to believe that by the time we are having recommendations from maybe engineering perspective, we'll be having some from the economic perspective. Maybe we'll even be having some that will be looking at the environmental dimension of addressing poverty in Africa. Maybe we'll even have some that would look at the business angle, look at the potentials that we have in Africa as a driver of solution to these challenges that we have at hand. So I want to employ each and every one of us to try as much as possible within our capacity to bring as much solutions, as much recommendations as possible. Submit them in this discussion today. Do not be shy to use your mic. The floor is for all of us to argue it, and I think they say agree to disagree until we are able to devise sustainable solution that addresses the baseline of poverty in Africa. So having said this, the Roundtable series is a monthly show that touches on diverse goal focus. And of course, I'm very sure that with your experience on the first one today, you wouldn't for any reason want to miss every other month. Last year was a great success for us at ADEP Africa. We had our roundtable from the month of February till the month of, I think, November or December. And yeah, the reports was quite amazing. The audiences who were a part of the show, they gave feedbacks, and it was awesome. And that has kept us moving, even not to even hold back in starting these years. So once again, on behalf of the leadership of ADEF Africa, I welcome each and every one of you to this roundtable today. And I'm believing that by the time we leave here today, we are living here as better Africans, as innovative Africans, as drivers of change on the African continent. Thank each and every I thank each and every one of you for your time, for your dedication, for your commitment, even for the consciousness that you have had, that you want to address the issue that is threatening our dear nation, and that is Africa as a whole. So thank you very much for all of that, and I leave you in the good hand of Yetunde as she takes us on the ride of becoming solution-centered Africans. who are together addressing the issue of poverty on the African land. So thank you very much, and you do have a great time on the show, please.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Mayowa, for that introduction and welcome address. We really appreciate you. Yes, let's appreciate him, please. Let me see your clap emojis and appreciate him. He has always been a wonderful team member and team lead. Yes. So yes, let's keep on appreciating him. Thank you, everyone. So the next thing now is icebreaker before we go in depth into today's topic. So today we just have a little icebreaker for us just to play with before we delve into what's the topic. I mean the theme for today is actually is. Okay, now the challenge that we'll be doing for this icebreaker is the one solution challenge. The one solution challenge. I want someone to put it on the chat box if you actually got what I said. The one solution challenge. Hello? Can you hear me? Please confirm that you can hear me. Oh, okay. Yes, I can see that now. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much. I can see that now. Yes. The one solution challenge. Great. Also. Fantastic. Okay. Okay. Yes. Yeah. I can see now that you are following with me. Thank you so much. So, what I want us to do right now is that I want us to think of one practical solution for eradicating poverty in Nigeria without relying on foreign aid. Let me take that again. I want us to think about one practical solution for eradicating solution in Africa without relying on foreign aid. So I want your answer to be as short as possible, just one sentence. So give us the one solution. I hope you all get what I said. Oh, awesome. Agro value addition. Wow, that's fantastic. Thank you so much. Okay, provide employment. Wow, good one. Yes, 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 yes. Let's keep it coming, please. Agriculture, yes, that's fantastic. I want to see more. Enhancing hands on skill. Wow, awesome. Hands on education, sharing knowledge and skills, modern farming methods, skill development, skill acquisition, and human advancement. Awesome. That's fantastic. Wow, wow. This is okay. Moses is writing a lot for me here. Okay, Moses Francis says industrialization and value addition, moving away from resilience on raw material exports by investing in local industries that add value to resources, e.g., processing agricultural products or mineral. Fantastic, that's awesome. So Nati from Ghana said enhancing technical education. Okay, Ngozi says low birth rates encourage agriculture, skill, and human capital development. Ngozi, I only asked for one. I only asked for one solution. I know we have a lot of solutions to share. Okay. Feli Oyeni says local resource-based education. Fantastic. Idamala say improving agriculture and local content production. All right. Victoria is saying supporting and empowering entrepreneurs. Wow, awesome. That is a very fantastic one. Okay. Esther is saying investing in SMA. Oh, that is also the entrepreneurs. Yes, awesome. So someone says human capital development. Fantastic. Also encouraging entrepreneurship. Wow. That means we are so in depth when it comes to entrepreneurship. Yes, that's a very big part of our country revenue. Yeah. Belief says energy and education. Okay. Stephen from Congo says development and resilience. Ujiambo from Uganda says expanding access to finance. Tribe says awareness about SDG is necessary. That's one is so fantastic. Oyedele Peter said boosting agriculture in Nigeria and in Africa too. We need food everywhere. We need to eat. We cannot, if we are not eating, I won't be online right now. I know most of us won't have the energy to be online. Yes, okay. Shakira Damosi, wow, this is fantastic. She says, reducing food waste through value addition. That is very, very important because we waste a lot of food. When you check into the agribusiness, you find out that a lot of people waste food, and which is not economical to our countries, especially in Africa. Okay, says youth-driven agripreneurship. Wow. Okay. Umbataya says requesting for accountability from government expenditures. Oh, okay, that is very, very important too. Okay, let me not say much so that I won't I know I have my lawyer very close to me, so I won't want to say what I can tell. So, but that is a very good one. So Oyekachi says education and skills acquisition. Jambos say again leveraging technology and innovation. Yes, that is very important because at least it help us reduce the way we buy some things, or the innovation. We always bring new ideas on how we can do things easily and it won't cost us much. That's fantastic. And I've not heard anybody talking about investing into green agriculture and other things like that. Why? Oh, maybe I've not read that. Okay, let me continue reading. Okay, Offer Precious from Cardinal says education and entrepreneurship. Yes. Francis says support for farmers, funds and farm input. Okay. Using of technology, educating farmers. Yes, education is very important for farmers. Okay, sorry, I can't pronounce your name, but I know you're from Zimbabwe. It says strengthen domestic resource financing to fund sustainable energy, e.g., biogas and energy. At least someone said that. That is one of the things I'm actually looking for. Yes, that is fantastic. Then Akao Rachel says encouraging local produce goods and reduce importation. Wow, this is a fantastic point, and I can say that yes, we we have a lot of people who are really in depth in what is today's topic is all about. And I don't think I can finish reading this. These are fantastic things. Promote healthcare and entrepreneurship, conversion, education and building nation, focusing on technology, promoting made in Africa. Okay, we need to find local-based means of transitioning to renew energy. Yes, that is very germane. Then poverty is a mindset. Yes. Defining education and including wealth creation into schools curriculum. That is very important because we need to understand people's perspective, what their mindsets are when it comes to poverty. So if you want to teach them on what poverty is, you need to change their mindset and make them focus on what you want them to actually know more about. So yes, okay, let me read this for the last time so that we can go straight to today's point. So investing in modern farming techniques like irrigation, system, better seed, and mechanization. Wow, encouraging the local that all their dreams can come true if they work together. Wow, okay. She's saying that I'm Viola from Uganda. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, Viola. That's really, really germane point. And yes, this is showing that we all understand what this topic is all about and how we can solve the solution. And how do we do that? With me, you, and every one of us, we can make this our country, our nation, our continent, Africa, be a better place. We all understand this, but how do we make it happen? So that is what we'll be driving at right now. And I would like people to actually contribute. You can actually unmute your mic and speak. Just raise your hand so that I can acknowledge you so that we can speak about this because these are one of the problem we need to find solution to. And we can't just do it alone. It has to do with collaboration, we understanding what these are and how to find the solution to it and how to implement it. There's difference between getting a solution, I mean, seeing a problem, finding a solution to it, but the implementation is very, very important, as we don't just look for solution. We need to also make sure that we are also doing what we say we want to do, what the solution is. So for the thing for this month, once again, is sustainable solution to poverty eradication in Africa beyond aid. So just we're going right straight to the discussion right now. I can see a hand up already. So I'll just be asking questions randomly. And my first question is, okay, how can Africa truly break free from aid dependency and build self-sustaining economies? Let me take the question again. How can Africa truly break free from aid dependency and build self-sustaining economy? I hope you get that question right. Okay, I can see some answer ready. So I'll be acknowledging Mr. Isiaku Suleiman first, then I will have Usago Rudolph next. Okay, you can mute your mic, Mr.
Hi.
Isiaku. Yes.
Okay, hi. Okay, hi.
Yes,
Are
I
you
can
getting
hear
me?
you. I can hear you loud and clear, sir.
Okay, all right. So, okay, this is I can say it is a holistic approach, that it is a multi-dimension or multidisciplinary approach that needs every field to be embedded or to involve into these aspects on how we can eradicate poverty in continent of Africa. So personally, we have to understand our mindsets. We have been for external aid that we are able to survive until that someone helps us. We have to abolish these ideas. We have to understand that we ourselves, we look to explore what potential we have in Africa, and how can we utilize that potential that we have to generate a money or to generate a revenue to us. So we have a lot of resources, natural resources and manpower resources. So we have to fully sit on a table to see how can we exploit such resources that we have been blessed with, and also to know how we can utilize it, what way, what process, and what idea can we apply to bring out ourselves from poverty. So we cannot able to get out from poverty while we are still depending on someone. We have to still find a way that we can be depend on ourselves. By doing that, so we can able to get out of poverty. So after that, we have to look our political aspect, and so also we have problem from that perspective. When you look at our politicians and also our system of politics of Africa continent, you can find out that we as an African, we cannot able to vote a person that can go into an office to fight or struggle for our own benefit. Only some other external factor that they are intervened, or they are just come to select someone that could be in an office. So also this, we have to look at it. And after that, we as a youth also change our mind and our education system. Our education system is one of things or one factor that contribute a lot in terms of putting us into a deep of poverty. So we have to say no. This kind of education system has to be changed, because we are still in another era, and that a curriculum or that syllabus that we are using is no longer acceptable. It's no longer useful. We have to change it. After that, also we have to know fully how we can apply all. We have to write it down and look to a way out of it before we just starting doing something. We have a lot
Thank
of
you.
problem in
Okay.
Africa continent.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Isiaku. That was really, really impactful. So, I'm so sorry, we might not be taking everyone that is racing because we have a lot of topics to discuss today. So I'll be taking Mr. Nsagu next. So, please, you have the mic right now. So you just have just 2 minutes, please. Thank you. We are trying to manage our time.
Okay, thank you so much for pronouncing the name. I think you can better use Rudolph. It's fine, it's fine.
Yeah, so sorry.
Good evening, everyone. Glad to be here. I'm Sango Rudolph from Cameroon. And I also want to thank Suleiman for laying down that foundation greatly. Let me not use all my time. All right. This is actually what I think if Africa embraces, we are going to eradicate poverty completely in a very short while. First, Africa should invest much in the informal sector because I think about 80% of Africans are actually from the informal sector. And looking at our GDP, it contributes, I think, even up to let me just say even 80%. So if we can really invest in our informal sector, it's really going to strengthen. Sometimes I don't even look at, yeah, it's true that the educational system is not the best, but I think we already have what it takes if we really just maybe strengthen or re-strategize with what we already have. And secondly, the non-profit organizations should design maybe projects with entrepreneurial mindset. We do not just because if they are designing projects with entrepreneurial mindset, it will be very much sustainable even after a long run. Even if they get loans to implement the project when they are rather fundings to implement the project, when the funders will go, the project will remain because there will be a mechanism of deploying back and reinvesting. I think that is really one. And lastly, before I even give the floor, our government should make it very possible for us to access funds, even at our local level. You bear with me that our local banks around do not trust their citizens. Instead, unless they really have seriously, they don't trust their citizens. So if they make this loan accessible to the citizens, we are really going to do much better. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and thank you for managing your time because I was about to tell you thank you. So if you have spoken, you can please pull down your hand. So Ifunaya, please let's have you so that we can move on to the next topic and of discourse. So in 2 minutes, please, Ifunaya, you have the floor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I'm just going to focus on two things. I feel in Nigeria, in Africa, we keep on going backwards because prior to a lot of things, prior to colonialism, we already had a lot of things figured out. Then colonialism came and we decided that our system of way of living was not proper. So we adopted a lot of things, and along the line, these things we have adopted are no longer sustainable. And now we do not know how to be adaptive. Yes, so like that's one issue that is really affecting Africa. So I feel one thing Africa needs to focus on is we need to know how to be adaptive and inclusive, and this really starts from our educational system, because the educational system starts from not just the youth but the children. These children are going to become youth and eventually going to become leaders, and the people that are leaders right now still need to continuously learn that there are so many aspects that they are getting wrong. So I feel that's the first thing we need to focus on in Africa. Then the second thing is that in Africa, we do not understand what a secular economy is, because in Africa, we are just solely dependent on importation. We ignore other things like exportation, we ignore our petroleum, we ignore the fact that a secular economy exists to make the country whole, to make sustainability whole. So if Africa as a continent can adopt a secular economy, I believe the economy will become better, because it's not possible for us to be independent of the foreigners. We just have to practice interdependence. That's just it. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you so much. I have actually have jotted and got a lot from what you said, and those are very, very important things that we need to focus on. The circular economy is nothing for us to joke with in Africa, and we are not implementing it enough. So I'll be giving Paul the mic now. So please, in just 2 minutes, so that we can quickly wrap up on this and move on the next question, please. Thank you. Oh, you have the floor. Mr. Paul, your mic is muted. All right. I can hear you now.
Okay. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I believe you're referring to me, right? Happiness, right? Okay. Sorry.
Hello. Hello, I'm Kolo Jamu Joseph from Uganda, and I'm happy to be on this platform today. Some of the things that I would wish to share with my fellow colleagues is that to break the cycle of poverty in Africa, we'll do some of these things, and we'll have something like universal health access, whereby you find that poverty and health is closely linked. So investing in health care systems and providing affordable access to medical services, then addressing issues like malnutrition and sanitation can significantly improve productivity and reduce the economic burden of the poor families. Even I can look at now maternal and child health. So you find that focusing on improving maternal health and reducing the child mortality through better health care infrastructures and vaccinations and even family planning programs. I think this can also lead or else make us reduce and break the cycle of poverty. Maybe the last one is providing access to credit resources and even mentorship for smaller businesses, and maybe the entrepreneurs focusing on job creation and also improving on the economic opportunities may lead to breakage of the poverty. Thank you so much, the audience.
Thank you so much, Mudiambo. Yes, I really appreciate your input, and I appreciate everyone that has contributed to this question. We have other questions to tackle with, and one of the things that I've picked from every person that has spoken right now is that we all have a responsibility as a person, as a citizen, as a government. Everyone has a responsibility to carry, and we need to put hands together to do this, to make this work. Okay, we'll be going to the next question now. So, and thank you all for contributing to that question, because it's a very, very important question there. So, the next question I'll be talking about right now is, okay, what innovative way can we use technology to tackle poverty and create more opportunities? We have all talked about innovation, this and that. Okay, in what innovative way can we use that technology? Because a lot of technology advances is happening now. We now have AI, we have this, we have that. So how do we make use of these innovations? How do we make use of those technology to tackle poverty and create more opportunities? So please, you can put your hands up so that I can recognize you and you can speak
Hello.
accordingly. Okay, sorry. I would like to acknowledge those that have not spoken before now. So sorry. So sorry. Okay, I can see Walimat, Ralias, and okay, Walimat. Wilmot, sorry. Wilmot, Ralias. Yes, you have the mic. Thank you.
Thank you. At least you're able to pronounce the name correctly. So my name is Wimod Rede, and I'm from Liberia. And I think that's a very nice question, how we can utilize technology to reduce the population, the poverty rate in Africa. And one fact we must uphold is that we live in a very rapidly evolving, digital century. The 21st century is full of so many technology, and because we live in this digital century, I think our continent as a whole, being, having the highest rate of impoverished people in the world, should be able to embrace technology, uh, empower its citizens or its inhabitants with technological skills in order to make impact and in order to boost up the progressivity of Africa as a whole. And how can we do that? We can do that by maybe the government should be able to provide programs, to create programs for the youth of Africa to have advanced knowledge into technology, into AI, because AI is one of the things that is taking over. Now, many students use AI to do assignments, students use AI to do so many great things and amazing things. But the idea about technology also has an adverse effect on the users of those technology, depending on how the person is using it. But I would suggest that the government of countries empower its citizens by creating programs, technological programs, that the citizens will be able to gain digital knowledge and to make great creativity in our country. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Wilmot. Thank you so much for contributing. Can we have Teresa? Teresa. Okay, if you're not online, I would like to acknowledge Joseph Samuel to have the floor. Hello. Okay.
Hello, good evening.
All right, good evening.
Yeah, so I'm Samuel from Nigeria, and I won't really waste my time on the introduction. What I
Okay.
want to say is, as much as technology can be a game changer for tackling poverty in Africa, I would say we really need to meet technology at our level. There are things we really cannot use yet because we have not gotten to that level. But most times we find ourselves trying to imbibe Western culture, and we find ourselves wasting resources trying to do things that we cannot do yet. It's just like Nigeria trying to adopt a bullet train for transportation. We've not gotten to that level yet. Yes, as much as it would be very nice to do that, we have not gotten there. It is okay to start from the normal train. Yes, it shows progress, but at the same time, we are leveraging that technology at our own level. So the moment technology is leveraged at our own level, we are meeting it where we can, and we are doing the things we are ought to do. The progress might be slow, but definitely we are progressing. I think meeting ourselves and realizing where we are as a country will actually take us to a very, very great height. So that is my contribution. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Joseph Samuel. Can we have Teresa Puma now? Okay.
Right. Good afternoon. I'm
Good
Teresa from
afternoon.
Malawi.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. My input is on land saving innovations, because Africa, we are experiencing high population growth every time. So we are actually having like less land to do our agricultural activities, yet we are agro-based continent. So the best way to do is to use technology that is land saving. For example, we may be introducing high yielding seeds for agriculture, use of fertilizers, but not chemical. I would rather go for organic. That's the use of manure, so that as time goes by, we can be able to harvest without use of chemical fertilizers. Irrigation systems, whereby we can be able to plant 2 or 3 times a year using the water sources that we have. So for us to reduce poverty, I believe that we have to serve and invest a lot. And this is only through agriculture. So if we are to adopt land saving innovations, it would do us better other than using the labor saving innovations such as tractors, because we have less knowledge. But these ones we can adapt. Even the rural people, they are able to use such technology. So it can be a technology that can be adopted worldwide, and it can do us better.
All right, thank you so much. That was so insightful, and I can see that even from the last speaker, I can see that we should adopt the technology that we have right now. But as much as the technology is evolving, as much as new things are coming every day, we should know how to use them accordingly. We should just adopt everything and want to use everything. We need to learn how to make it work for us, because that is the best way that this technology can work effectively to help us eradicate poverty. So just as the speakers have said, we need to implement it on things that we know that, okay, yes, people can easily adapt to, just like irrigation, as the last speaker said, you can use for irrigation, planting, so that we won't be using much chemical to control a lot of things. So this technology, yes, it is available. We have a lot of it, but we still need to look for those ones that will be useful for us. So I'll be taking one more person while we jump on the next question. Imweke, oh, she dropped her hand. Okay. Okay, I can see Natty Bismarck from Ghana. Yes, you have the mic.
Sorry, just a minute. Well done,
Okay,
you
okay.
today. I really enjoyed the presentation and the contribution from everybody, but I would really appreciate if speakers can turn on their video and we're able to interact with them facially. Your contributions are so laudable, they are awesome, they are mind-blowing, and we won't just want you to be in the dark speaking. We'll seriously appreciate if you can turn off your video and we can see you and make it more interactive, make it more fun. Well done, everybody.
All right, thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you. So as you've said, I would love to see your handsome, beautiful faces, just as you're seeing mine right now. So as you contribute, thank you very much. So can I have Natty Bismarck?
Hello. Hello.
Hello, I can hear you. Can we see
Yeah.
you, please? Can you put on your video, please?
Yes, I can put on my video, but because of my position, and then okay. Let me see if it can. Um, am I clear at your side?
Yes, we can see you now. Yes, thank you.
Okay. So I want to talk about the energy aspect, and we can bear witness that here in Africa we are facing an energy crisis. So and for my department, I'm studying energy sustainability. So why don't we ensure? How are we going to ensure that majority of our communities or the remote areas they get access to energy? So we can do that by providing solar panels, constructing mini grids, portable solar devices, which will provide affordable and then sustainable energy to these off-grid communities. We can also ensure by um, um, adopting the pay-as-you-go models. That's mobile money payment systems to enable low-income households to access solar energy and other utilities without upfront costs. So when you do this, I think it's going to help, especially in the remote areas where
All right.
Energy access is difficult.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Even though your network is taking up your face and off and on, but yes, thank you so much for your contribution. So we're taking Bankole Damola as we go on to the next question now. Please kindly help us with your video. We want to see your face Good to see you. Yes, thank you. Bankole Oyedamola, you have the mic. Hello, are you there? Okay, let's move on to the next question, please. We are trying to manage our time because yes, we have a lot to discuss when it comes to Africa, but we need to also manage our time. So my next question here is how do we ensure young people are equipped with the right skills to thrive in today's job market? How do we ensure young people are equipped with the right skills to thrive in today's job market? Um, Personally, this is a very big challenge in every country in Africa, especially in Nigeria, because we have a lot of graduates. Every year, thousands of graduates are out of schools, but they don't have the right skills to get on job, to take themselves out of poverty or take their family out of poverty. So, what are those skills that you feel that young people can actually acquire for them to actually manage that um, job space that they are going into, or maybe they are is born in job and they are looking for ways at which they can actually mitigate their opportunities in the job market. Okay, let me give Umbata Christine. I hope I'm able to pronounce your name well. Please don't arrest me. All
It's
right, thank
okay.
you. Have a good one.
Good evening, everyone. Christine from Uganda. So I think maybe with aligning our curriculum as far as education is concerned. For example, in Uganda, we introduced a new curriculum that is learner-centered or child-based curriculum. Some of you have been to the US or maybe to the European countries. When we go with our certificates and transcripts, we don't get those jobs that we are aiming to. Instead, we are taken to wash plates, clothes, and they say that our education is useless. So, in order to equip learners with the right skills, we need to change our curriculum to be globally recognized because there are some of the things that we learn in Uganda, for example, where I come from, and they are outdated, like things that were done in the past, and they're not relevant as far as the contemporary society is concerned. So I feel like to equip our learners with the right skills to compete with learners from the US, South Korea, with the rest of the world, our education system should do something. We learn what is real and what the job markets demand. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much. And that's the reality of things, when you have all the certificate and you go for a job offer and they're like, oh, you don't have the skills, there are enough skills, or you don't have the practical knowledge of what you want to, and you feel like disappointed, like, oh, I went to all these schools, I spent years, I spent money to go to school to get the certificate. And no, it's not as if it is not important, but you just have to acquire some added skills for you to fill into those spaces. Yeah. So I want to give Onweke Moses the mic right now. Please try to put on your video as you unmute yourself, please. Thank you.
Okay, good evening from Nigeria. My name is Wakeboy from Nigeria. I have an issue with my camera, so I'm not using my PC for this call now, so I apologize for that.
Okay.
So, in my own opinion, I feel like what should be done is the curriculum should shift to be more practical and lively. I studied mechanical engineering. I would say for some of the courses I did, even I myself knew that they were no longer applicable because technology has moved ahead of that this thing. We were still taught things that were still used in the late 90s, and we have gone beyond that. So I feel like we should move beyond those knowledge and go more practical. Because one of the issues we face in Africa is that we just have head knowledge. We do not know how to apply those skills. I was privileged to work with an organization, a youth national organization. So I was able to learn hands-on experience. I have hands-on career experience, because what we basically do was like what you would do in a formal organization. Because of that, I had to like learn many things, and I feel like that is actually how our educational system should be. It should be more practical. People should know what they are learning and why they are learning it, so that it's going to increase their interest in that particular field, and it's also going to make them have that work experience that they are going to be asked for when they go into the global market. And that's one. Then two, to round it up, another point is that I feel like in Nigeria and many African countries, we do not see the need for let's say sustainable education or skill-based education. We know many things, but we don't know the practicability of what we know. So I think the educational system should shift into the sphere where people are more practical with what they know and in their field, so that it will help them be more ready. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And those are the main thing that we need to look up to. Our curriculum needs to be I don't know, reshaped, as in reshaped completely. I don't know why at this year or stage or a century that we have now, somebody will be teaching us something that was discovered in 1970, 1980, when there's a lot of discoveries, new discoveries, and new ways at which you can use some things and being practical with it. So I think from what he has said and the first speaker has said, we need to implement the use of our curriculum and put it in the right way that it will be of the best for our youth in our country and Africa at large. So I'll be giving Abena up here the mic now. So please try to help us with your video. We want to see your face. Thank you. Abena up here, please. Are you online? Okay, Feli Oyeni, you can have the mic right now.
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity to share a bit. I think some of the things I want to say has been said. Our educational system is kind of down. We need to really work on that. Like the other person that spoke, read mechanical engineering, just the way I did too. I remember we were being taught about old things, even though I appreciated those things, having it the basics, because again, you can't just start, you don't want to start about technology and you just jump to the latest thing when you don't even understand how some things work in the past. So we can say those basic things are kind of important, but we should not do it too much on them. They should just be like a brief introduction. They should not be the main thing we'll be doing. Like for instance, when I was in 500 level, that was when they started state teaching me how to everything on paper, how to, we are still doing drawing and how to come up with design thinking and on paper. Those are things we could have done when we were still wasting time doing physics in 100 and 200 level. So there's need for us to review. There's something we call experimental approach to learning. Experimental. That is the kind that we still have in Sweden precisely, like we are talking about renewable, sustainable energy today. Nobody, I'm very sure we don't have much people in Nigeria who can say this is how to go about it in practical. They can say, like someone like me, I can teach you from beginning to the end about renewable energy. But if you ask me, okay, let's go to the field, let's go and fix this thing together, then we'll not be able to fix things. I've once found myself in the lab where I wanted to come up with produce green hydrogen and I was not able to. So our educational system just need to be reviewed. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much for that contribution. That was very, very insightful. And yes, I can testify from your voice and what you you experience that yes, it's not easy. You know, when you have done something theoretically and you need to practicalize it in what you're doing, or maybe doing the training or doing the education, or when you're in school, you need to practicalize everything that you're being taught, which there are no opportunity to do that in lots of time. So okay, thank you very much. I'll be taking one more person to speak right now. Abena Pia, can we have you now?
Okay, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Good evening, everyone. This is a problem in Africa, and it is a very, 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 very problem for graduates. And we are hoping private sector too should employ graduates. When there's a graduate vacancy, they are looking for years of experiences before they will take you. And it has become a problem in Africa. So we hope that when graduates are, before they complete school, they have to do internship so that they familiarize themselves with the job market. So at the end of the day, they will get some experiences before they can get employment. That's my take. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you very much. Okay, that was a good one. Let me just take one more person while we jump on the next and probably the last question for today. So Abdul Basit Bakari. Abdul Basit Bakari, can you please mute your mic and on your video, please?
Yeah, okay. I'll turn on my video now. Am I being seen?
Yes, I can see you and hear you loud and clear. Thank you.
Oh, so well, the point I want to make on how youth can get more jobs isn't going to, eradicate the points that others have made. Yes, I do believe practical aspects are very useful now. However, we're in a technologically advancing world. For instance, what I mean is, let's say you are studying medicine, for instance. The typical mindset is, yeah, I will study medicine and go and become a medical doctor. However, things are already changing. There are now more jobs that have
Okay, I think his network is not really good. Okay, so let's move right to the next question, which is probably the last for today, and which is can agriculture dependence be a lifesaver and sustainable sector that lifts people out of poverty? Can agricultural dependence be a lifesaver? Hello, can you hear me? Please confirm you can hear me in the chat box.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
All right, thank you very much. So the last but not the least question here is, can agricultural dependence be a lifesaver and sustainable sector that leads people out of poverty? So this is the next question now, and I want us to discuss too. So please, if you have raised your hand before, I would like to acknowledge those that have not spoken before now, so that we can have a lot of people other people to contribute their quota on this topic. Okay, I'm seeing new hands right now. Please, if you have spoken before, you can drop your hand. Okay, Duke Abiri, let's have you. Please on your mic. Thank you.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening. You're welcome.
Thank you. So I think talking about agriculture, I would say that food is a major need of humans, and agriculture has to do with food and meeting the basic necessity of humans. So I think it's a major way out of poverty. In Africa, we can do more with our agricultural produce that can then even be used to manufacture other things. It would help us a lot. I think we rely so much on export of food. In Nigeria now, we keep talking about Nigerian rice, but before now, there was a major dependence on exporting or rather importing rice into the country. So I think that food has a major role to play. So agriculture can actually get us out of poverty if all our systems and our values will be put in place. Because many of the questions that I've asked before now, I think one underlying factor that we have that is causing us problems in Africa is our value system. What is right is no longer right. There's so much greed, there's so much corruption, there's so much selfishness, because it's selfishness that would make a bandit to go into someone's farm and destroy the things that they have invested in without thinking of the other person. So agriculture plays a major role, but we also need to work on our value system so that we treat each other as humans with consideration. And I think the issue of poverty will be something of the past in Africa. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you very much for that. Yes, there's no lying what you said, because we have so much depend on importation of goods, which is affecting our economy. And we need to just know how to mitigate around this. It is very, very important. Okay, I can see Saris Lucia Bugaraha. So you can have the mic, but please on your video. Thank you.
Yes, hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hello.
can you see
Hi.
me?
Of course, we can hear you loud and clear.
All right. So my name is Cyrus Lucia. I'm from Tanzania. So for me, agriculture is a right saver for African independence in terms of economic issues. There are a lot of issues that I think, from my point of view, agriculture is like it's like tourism. It's a multiplier. If you properly do tourism and agriculture, you can create a multiple economy. You can impact a lot of sectors in line. So for today, I will only highlight one area. If agriculture is properly done in Africa, we can reduce imports and we can improve food security in Africa. Just to let you know, Africa annually imports about $50,000 billion in food, despite of having 60% of arid lands in the whole global. So you can imagine, if we do this properly, how much money are we going to save from importing foods, and how are we going to improve nutrition among our people? So for today, I think that's the only highlight I would like to share with my fellows. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you for that contribution. Okay, I'll move next to Sahar Koffer. So you have the mic now.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Am I audible?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, I have listened to previous speakers, and more especially the first speaker regards the area of agriculture has already nailed where I should have actually deliberated on. But just to add on, agriculture is one of the key aspects or a blueprint where Africans will actually use as a milestone to eradicate poverty. This is why. One, it doesn't just help us to actually focus on the maintaining food security, but also helps us to provide job opportunities. That to add with what the previous speaker said, we have to provide some value added chains on the agricultural aspects we are actually growing on. But we think of this also, this mindset we are having today, certification, that's rural urban migration. So agriculture has been left in the hands of the ageable, wherein the young people are now trying to be certified. So the aspect of us being in cities, being certified, leaving the hands of the agriculture in the hands of the ageable can actually survive us. So it is in theory and it is in the bare mind that agriculture could actually be a poverty eradication milestone. But the other way, the practical aspect of us, the youth, being trying to be certified, rural urban migration hinders the growth of the growth pillar of agriculture in eradicating poverty in Africa. So I end here.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you for bringing that out, because a lot of us, we all want to go to the urban. So we're joining this people, especially these real estate people who are cutting down our trees and making urban in rural places. And we are leaving all the agricultural or farming practices to the older people or few or little people to handle, which we need to also implement. So thank you very much for that input. That was so impactful. So please let me take Mustafa Abdurazak.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening. You can hear you.
All right, thank you for having me. Regarding to the topic put forward, I also love to say one or two things. As we can see, the life we live now, or I should say, it's a life of agriculture. But as far as education is concerned, I see agriculture is no more agriculture. I think it is now called agro-business. You understand? And when we're talking about agro-business, there are a lot of channels where we can target the agro-business, maybe technology, commercial, or any field of profession in the country of Africa, or in the country of Nigeria, or any country in Africa. You understand? And to me, there is this statement that goes like this, that the history of the world is the record of a man in quest of his daily bread and butter. So when we're talking about eradicating poverty, what we actually need is food. Food is a primary source of whatever we need as a human being. When food is sought, others are secondary. The primary one is the food part of it. And it's not just about food nowadays. We can channel agro-business into a way to commercialize it other than saying it's food only. You understand? And many countries like that have been trying to train students, young students in Nigeria, yes, I can say Nigeria to be precise. They have engaged in agro-business, trying to develop young professions into agro-business so that they can mastermind the art of agriculture. So thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you so much, Mustafa. And that was so insightful. Thank you so much. And I want to say thank you to everyone that contributed to the sustainable solution to poverty eradication in Africa. So I'll be reading out some of the messages I can see on chat right now. I can see someone saying the key is to focus on investing in resources. Africa is growing, so let's focus on agribusiness. It reduces poverty and creates employment. Okay, yes. Someone else also say our natural resources should benefit every citizen in the country. I'm trying to bring a point where natural resources are being sold through the proper channel. Also, by diversifying our economy to reduce reliance on primary commodities. That's another good point. So someone is going to say we can use social media to advertise our produce from agriculture and mining. Awesome, awesome. Okay, awesome. So somebody is saying by accepting technology transfer and infrastructure as aid instead of money. So okay. That's another point. Someone is saying a country like Ghana needs to invest more on technical and vocational education. Yes, all these are very, very germane and very, very important. So let me read more. Okay, someone is saying in our curriculum we should include risk management, entrepreneurship, and market skills. Wow, that is a very good one. Okay, jobs are linked with opportunities, and opportunities are linked with industries, and industries are linked with resources. Definitely. I love that. All done, everyone. Okay, somebody saying, as African, looking at technology from the perspective of comparison, the mismatch, we have a lot to make our growth unique and original. Yes, thank you everyone for contributing to today's section, and I've learned a lot from every one of you. Thank you so much. This is very, very important because our economy in Nigeria is very important as we are talking about how we can eradicate poverty in Africa. So and we need to just create that solution. But beyond creating the solution, we need to learn how to implement all the solution into our daily lives, into what we do, into how we do them. Yes, our government has a lot to do about it, and would try as much as possible and to encourage them to do the right thing at the right time. So yeah, I believe that if our government are giving us the resources, the privilege and the opportunity to maximize all this opportunity to be used right, and I believe that the poverty rate will be reduced in a very large number. And yes, we all have our responsibility, just as I've said before. Now you have a responsibility, I have a responsibility, our government has a responsibility, because we need to take care of our nation, of our continent, to be a greater one. Thank you once again, everyone, for contributing. As I'll be handing the mic to Mr. Olufemi now, as he will be giving us recommendation and key action areas. Mr. Olufemi Abioye, you have the mic, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Yetunde, for this evening discussion. It's beautiful, wonderful, and awesome. And I want to use this medium to also appreciate everyone that has joined the discussion. Thank you for your inputs. We sincerely appreciate your contribution. And to our participants via YouTube, we acknowledge your presence. Thank you for your comments. Your engagement is highly welcome. So we have really discussed a very interesting topic this evening. And we don't just want to go home by just discussing and not having what to do. We don't want to end this discussion as just mere talking and raising suggestion, but then it's time for us to take action. We've looked at the topic that says sustainable solution to poverty eradication in Africa beyond hate. Now, that last part is what I want us to still focus more beyond hate. There's this saying that goes around that Africa cannot develop without foreign aid, without external aid. And like what they said in the beginning of this section, that since the US president has announced that there won't be aid for Africans and all that, that has sparked a lot of discussion, a lot of thought, a lot of concerns among African countries and all that. Now, I want us to take a look at something that I discovered recently. So I was just scrolling, and I stumbled on this video, and I saw the youngest president in Africa currently. That's speaking of the president of Burkina Faso. That's Ibrahim Traoré. So the news have it that he paid the debt of $4.8 million without any foreign aid. Now let me take that again. $4.8 million without any aid. So how did he achieve it? You know, this is contrary to the saying we have. And to every participant that is from Burkina Faso this moment, congratulations to you for that great job that your president has done. You know, he went against the normal saying that without foreign aid, Africans cannot survive. But this man has proved that word wrong. It has proved all the European leaders wrong. That look, we have all what we need in Africa, if only we can channel the right attitude to it. And that is what we are really interested in this moment, that it is time for us to channel the right attitude to whatsoever we are doing as leaders. And I'm so glad that most of the people that contributed this evening or this afternoon, depending on your time zone, most of the people that contributed are youth. And here we have the president that is a youth. I mean, the president of Burkina Faso, very young man, yet solid vision. We can see what he did in the agricultural sector, even from tomato production alone. Look at the infrastructure he has put in place to ensure that tomatoes that are produced are not just they don't end up being a waste, but they are properly taken care of, they are properly managed, they are properly chipped into the right places. Look at the road network is building to ensure that there is solid international trade opportunity. Look at the investment he's making in earth sector. Look at how he's taking charge of the mining sector to ensure that no, you don't just do mining illegally, or you don't just mine and just take away resources without investing in the country. And in as a leader, look at what he's doing with the spending of the country to ensure that every dollar spent is well accounted for. So these are things that we need to put in place. He encouraged the entire citizen to be more diligent, to be more hardworking, and to focus on taking the country out of poverty into the wealth they are looking at. So this is what we really need to work on. So as an individual, so right there where you are in your little capacity, are you working hard to ensure that Africa is out of poverty? Or you are on the line of, let me get out of this continent and move to the European country and let me go and enjoy my life there. Look, your home is forever your home. Anything can happen. Look at what is happening. Look at the saga that is happening in the UK now. That all of those information you can go to the internet to read about. For you to be a citizen of UK now, you know the stress you have to go through. So let us come back home and think on how we can develop Africa. This is Africa. This is our continent. It is time for us to begin to think, to innovate. Look, as far as I'm concerned, Africa has all it needs. Even talking about technology, to me, what I feel was we are interrupted. Africa has its own way of doing things, and we are evolving gradually in our own technological space. But the white, just came all of a sudden upon us with their colonization and all that, and it interrupted our natural flow. And that's why we are struggling to catch up right now. So, but let's neglect that. Now that where we are, let us integrate. Let us start building. Let us start doing the needful. Just like what Samuel said, yes, in our curriculum, we have when we are doing mathematics and you give example of what is the speed of a bullet train and all that and all that. Now, you are in Nigeria and you don't even know what a bullet train looks like. You don't know. Even the common train that we have in the country, most people have not seen it before. They don't know how it moves. So let us domesticate our curriculum. Let us look for example that is practical, that we can relate with and teach with that example. Take your student out, let them feel the environment, and from what they can see, I could remember I was teaching some young people mathematics, and I wanted to teach them about shapes and all that. And I had to first of all take them out. I told them, okay, go and pluck a leaf, and they all did that. And I told them, begin to make a shape out of that leaf. and some of them begin to make shapes. And by the time they were making that shape, I begin to tell them, okay, this shape is triangle. Now you made that shape yourself, so it will be difficult for you to forget how a triangle look like. You are the one that made the square. It will be difficult for you to know how a square look like. So you've brought education down to the level whereby everybody can understand. So it will help you to. So we need that kind of that flows with our own situation in Africa. Look at China. One of the things that helped them advance so seriously was that they almost everything they've domesticated it, they ensure that it is being taught in their own tradition. And they could understand even the language, they cherish their language. Do you cherish your own language? I mean, you cannot just, you are not free to, as a Yoruba person, you are not free to speak your own Yoruba language in the public. As a Ghanaian, you can't speak your own indigenous. As a South African person, all those things, it has a way of, so when you even teach in your own local tongue, it helps people to get it better. Recently, I think someone here in Nigeria, I think in Ogun State, won a very wonderful award being a global teacher, and the state governor added to his award. And looking closely, I think he's a Yoruba teacher. Now, if you go to the university and go and study Yoruba, people might think you don't know what you are doing. But this man was able to do better with that course he did. I learned of someone that teach Microsoft Excel in local language. Microsoft Excel. So these are things that, so in our individual space, let us see how we can improve Africa. Don't let us leave everything to the leaders. We are all leaders. The young ones are the leaders of tomorrow. That's a common saying. So it is time for us to stand on only that leadership mentality that, look, I don't have to leave everything to the leaders in my own capacity. Then let me do something. That free space you have at the back of your house, why not get a garden? If it is vegetable you are producing from that, it's a way of increasing the economy of your country. That space, why don't you start rearing and little fowl and all that? So we've all said a lot this evening. Those that are on YouTube, those that were able to join via Zoom, those that had the opportunity to speak on mic and drop comment in the chat board. Yes, I read through. It's so laudable. It's so wonderful. But beyond that, please let us do well to do the needful by being practical. And I believe Africa will be great. Thank you so much. So we would like to have you next month on the 18th. 18th save the date for another interesting discussion. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Femi. Those are wonderful. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for the contribution. Please let's appreciate with our emoji, with our clap, as we appreciate everyone that's contributed to this topic today, and my boss, Mr. Femi. So please kindly connect with each other. You can also follow social media handles on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and every other social media, ADF Africa, so that you can see updates on our programs and sections that we're having. So let's see you next month. We're having this roundtable series again next month. So see you all then. Have a wonderful evening, have a wonderful afternoon, depending on where you are and where you're connecting us from. Yes, thank you very much. Please don't forget to follow our social media handles on every social media, which is ADF Africa. Just look for ADF Africa and you can see our handles. Try to follow us there. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. It was nice meeting you. It was like hearing from you all today. Once again, my name is Yetunde Junaid, and I'm the program associate for ADF Africa. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
Thank you very much.
We learned how to tame fire, get more from the environment. Our population grew, as did our demand. Every time a new problem arose, we solved it, altering Earth's entire surface in the process. And now, scientists that Earth has entered a new phase of its existence. Welcome. Now determine nature's. Last one. We're now totally out of balance with nature. And unless we get our balance back, this age of humans is due to be short-lived. So how do we deal with this problem? When you boil it down, there is one underlying big issue. Our planet is becoming less wild. Our species has cleared 3 trillion trees, cultivated half its fertile land, and now fishes across most of the ocean. In the last 50 years, the populations of wild animals have reduced by 60%. We've replaced them with ourselves and our domesticated animals and plants. Today, we and the animals we raise account for 96% of the mass of mammals and 70% of the birds on Earth. There's very little wild left. This biodiversity loss is not just a tragedy, it's the single biggest problem we face. Without biodiversity, the world as we know it doesn't work. Our planet needs its wild species. Every one is a component of the global machine.